It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Newell. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss anything we have coming up. And yeah, let's jump right in with Monique Samuels.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. You know what's so funny? So last night I was watching you and DJ Richie Sky.
Yeah.
And then you were like, yeah, I'm going to be interviewing Monique next week. And I was like, oh, good. That got approved.
I'm so excited, though, to have you on because, I mean, I watched your tea with Monique. I love your panel concept. I saw that you had All About the Tea on. On Tuesday, I had RJ Allen and Monica from All About the Tea on with me. And it's fun to see. There's so many people that I know that know you and they love you. And I was like, I just have to get my shot in there with her. I just want to have a conversation.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to have you on tea with Monique as well.
Hey, don't tempt me with a good time. I'll be there.
Okay.
All right. Well, Monique, I know that your time is extremely precious. Whenever you're ready, should we jump right in?
Yeah, I'm ready for you.
All right. So I always kind of start off with this, but I mean, they would have to be for anyone living under a rock. I mean, we know you from the Real Housewives of Potomac, but that's not all of who you are. You're an amazing mother. You're an amazing wife. You're beautiful and talented. I mean, can you just tell us a little bit about your background?
Yes. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, I'm just a regular girl, married to an awesome man, 3 beautiful children, and a parrot.
And a parrot.
I actually have a business that I love called Not for Lazy Moms. I started this because of just enjoying my parenthood journey so much and not really understanding the fact that some of us just don't have it all together. A lot of us moms are struggling, me included. And I said, you know what? There's no platform that gives us an opportunity to really share our struggles, but then also give you tips for how to overcome, how to juggle, how to balance. So that's what really inspired Not for Lazy Moms. And it's literally me documenting my parenting journey, and it turned into a podcast. So I really enjoy doing that. Everyone who has watched me on Real Housewives of Potomac, they all know how much I just love essential oils. So for years, people kept messaging me saying, you know, where can I buy your oils? And I was like, oh, well, I don't have any oils of my own. Well, when you get some oils, I'm going to buy from you. And I'm like, okay. So I started essential
Mila
oils.
Eve. That's where we got it.
Yes, Mila Eve. And it's a fun story behind the name. Mila Eve Essentials. So whenever me and my husband are pregnant, we don't find out the gender until we push the baby out. So we always have 2 names ready and waiting just in case if it's a boy or if it's a girl. So when I was pregnant with Christopher, it was either going to be Christopher or Milani. So Christopher Ramon or Milani Sana. And then Christopher was born. When I was pregnant with Milani, you know, we didn't know girl or boy. So it was either Milani Sana or Chase Omari. It was Milani. When I was pregnant with Chase, it was either Chase Omari or Mila Eve. I'm done having kids. So I named my business after my 4th baby.
Listen, I have so much respect for anyone who's a mom because especially watching you on the show, you're such an amazing mom you have the ability to multitask and you're doing 5 different things, probably 5 million things at the same time. I have a few animals and that's just enough for me, but that's an incredible story in how you named your business. And also I was going to ask you, but you already answered it. So Mila Eve was kind of a product of Not for Lazy Moms for people just requesting your own personal essential oils.
Yes. And I wanted to make sure that I gave them something that was a top quality, chemical-free product. Also, making sure that the price was affordable. I know I love essential oils, but when I see the pricing, I'm like, golly, it's so much for this little bottle. But thankfully, now that I'm a part of the business and I understand the industry, I was able to be very competitive in my pricing. And for me, it's more about my passion than it is making a profit. So yes, I'll make a small profit, but the amount of people that can be touched by being able to use essential oils that are actually top grade you know, is just beyond. So I'm really excited about, to me, it's just a journey. And it's about being able to be healthy and, you know, having other alternatives for, you know, other than Western medicine. You have these natural remedies that you can try, and making it so that people can actually afford it. So I love it.
You know, and it's kind of funny that you say that, because obviously everyone around the world, they're on different financial spectrums. But we know, especially when you were, I don't want to say you were shaded a little bit on the TV show, but when you were asked, oh, you don't have a house? You're like, no, I have 4. So you're obviously very blessed in that way with this. I mean, your family has it together. So that's amazing. And the fact that you still go out of your way to make sure that other people who may not be as fortunate can afford your product too. Some people wouldn't always think of that, you know?
Yes, yes. No, I'm a person who, I just like helping people, honestly. The core of me is always just like trying to bring people together and just have a good time. And you can tell even when Chris and I have events, like we go out of our way to make sure that people who are in our home feel like they're at home. So that's just the type of people we are. So I really enjoy that. And I think that's why God blesses us, so that we can bless other people. So
I love that. Well, and also, I mean, you're not just this amazing businesswoman who has all of these little endeavors going. You're also very talented, and this is something that a lot of people didn't know about you. You did release your first single with a music video, Drag Queens, and I saw it and I thought it was amazing. And I also love seeing RJ behind the scenes and the photos too with it. But can you tell me a little bit about that and how that came to fruition and what made you decide to really pull the trigger on that?
yeah, so anyone that watched the very first season, I rapped at high tea. That was the same scene when I was asked how many homes I had and all that good stuff. But being a recording artist was my very first passion. I was actually pursuing a career in the music industry when I was 19 years old. So I kind of like let it go. The Me Too movement, let's just say the Me Too movement didn't exist back then. So I had to just like let it go, because it was just a male dominated industry and there was a lot of things being requested, and I was not about to do that in order to, you know, have a career. So I let it go. So fast forward, now we have Housewives. My husband, he was really encouraging me. He was like, you know, this will be a great opportunity for you to like get back on your music. And I was like, you know what? Okay, maybe I will. After the craziness of season 5, I needed a way to just let it all go and to really heal and move forward. My therapist suggested that I write a letter. I wasn't comfortable with doing that. Then she asked me, you know, well, what other ways do you relieve stress? And I said, you know what, prior to my kids, I would always, you know, put a pen to a pad and write a song, you know, and just put all my thoughts into it creatively. And she said, well, why don't you do that? So I did that. I worked on the verses, and I more so wanted to talk about myself. Like, this is what I was thinking in this moment, or here's where my mindset is as it pertains to people and relationships. And then I, you know, put a little splash of shade in there as well. And then when I recorded the song, I was able to truly just release it and let it all go. I was just to the point where I was no longer emotionally bothered. And I forgave myself. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to move forward. So that's what that song really did for me. And it was really a combination of everything that I've been through in my life. I've opened up about just the whole bullying when I was younger. And that was also a very important part of the song, where it's like you stand up to bullies. You don't let people walk all over you, whether that's people bullies, whether that's corporate bullies. You have to stand up for yourself. So that was important to me, to just carry that message. And I named it Drag Queens for the sole reason of grabbing people's attention, because at the end of the day, they know what's going to happen with season 5. And my mindset was, I'm not going to be doing a bunch of press, having to rehash this fight over and over and over. It gave me something else to talk about. It was a true part of my journey, and I was happy to share it. And the video it captures the true essence of what I'm speaking about. It had a lot of dancing. It had a lot of outfit changes. You know, I came to work, I came to slay. I did that in the video, and it was just a fun time. The energy was amazing. I know that some people had some complaints, and they were just like, oh, you're writing a song that's glorifying a fight. Well, no, actually, I'm not glorifying the fight. Bravo did that every week when they kept rehashing it. Only thing I did was took that incident and titled it afterwards. But everything, when you listen to the verses, you'll see that it's not about the fight. So I enjoyed it. The video is a hit. It's doing well on YouTube. So I'm just excited.
Well, you know, and it's funny because you're obviously very consistent because you're not just putting out 100% pure therapeutic essential oils, you're putting out therapeutic music as well. So that's great. At least you're keeping it consistent. But
Right.
since we're talking about the song, you know, I'm curious, you went through this whole process and like you said, it was therapeutic for you. It was better than just writing a letter. Could you see yourself making music in the future, continuing on?
Yes, absolutely. As soon as I get some extra time. But I love using that creative side of myself. It's really fun. I can take words and make them rhyme. And it's really amazing when you start off with this beat it's just music. And then you start adding words on top of it. And then that process is done. Then you get in the studio and actually record it. It's so, I don't know. It just tickles me. I really enjoy it. I want to do more of it. If my kids will let me, I will, I promise. I actually started writing other songs. I've just not been able to get to the studio to start recording. So I think I'm going to do like a little EP and release that.
Yeah, I like that. You know, my brothers and I used to do little rap battles when I was younger. And now that I've been with my fiance for 7 years, sometimes I'll see something or he'll ask me something and I'll just spin it and then I'll start rhyming. And he's like, enough, you're done. You're not talented. I'm like, oh no. He's like, leave it to the professionals. So I love that. At least we can go refer back to your music because you at least know what you're doing.
I'm sure you're good. And you know, my kids do the same thing. They will turn anything into a rap. Sometimes we have these little freestyle sessions in the kitchen and we'll just go one after another. So everybody gets a turn. And it's funny, some of the things that they come up with and they're actually really good.
You got to keep practicing.
Yeah.
Well, I obviously know that, you know, again, you being on or doing this music video, you were comfortable around the cameras. But I am curious, when you started Real Housewives of Potomac, at least the first season that you did, being around the cameras for the first time, was that experience normal for you? Or was that kind of like, okay, we have 6 people on my face, what's going on?
It's really interesting how normal it felt. My mom always tells me that I wake up and go as if I have cameras watching me all day. Even when I was younger, I could be on punishment in my room for a week. I would still wake up, get fully dressed, do my hair, put some gloss on my lips, and I would just sit there. Just in case my dad decided to let me out the room, I'd be ready.
You're like, nowhere to go, but I'm going to look great.
Yes, always sitting on ready. So it was funny, but and my kids, they kind of just like, they acted as if this was normal life as well. So it really wasn't that awkward. It was pretty fascinating. And the whole experience it's been really fun. So I appreciate the years, 4 years, you know, to be able to do that. And for people to actually enjoy my family on TV has been pretty amazing.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great response, you know, and speaking of responses, obviously we know, and it's been all over the board for you, I'm sure, but you have people who are in your corner and then people who are not. How have the responses been since you've left the show?
It's been actually quite positive. I was kind of nervous as to what the people who supported me the most would think. But everybody was so understanding. They were like, you know what? We hate that you're leaving, but we get it. Especially after they saw how I was treated. My husband and I were both treated on the reunion. Yeah. It was very clear and evident it was time for us to go. And I think that all of the fans and viewers who watched, they felt the same way. It's like, I hate to see you leave, but I get it, you know, so it's actually been quite positive.
Well, I hope when you left, you at least left the binder behind because you're like, here, check that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I can't wait to see, and I'm not trying to be shady in any capacity, but I can't wait to see how many housewives in the future copy you on that binder, because I mean, it's just iconic for the Real Housewives. Any of us who know and love, and Bravo has a huge fan network. So I'm sure there will be a Ramona Singer or some sort of housewife that copies you in the future, and I can't wait to see it. But speaking of reality TV, is this, obviously you don't get to control the narrative in an ensemble cast, and you don't get to control editing, right? You're going to put out your best foot forward, and then they're going to take what they want and kind of make you into this character. And I'm not blaming it all on editing at all, but knowing what you know now after 4 seasons, do you think there's any chance that, not just saying Bravo, but any chance you would do any sort of reality television ever again?
If I did, I would definitely have to be one of the executive producers so that I can assist with the editing and all of that, messaging that gets out there. Because when I look back over just my time on the Real Housewives of Potomac, I mean, I went from being a bragger to a alcoholic to, I mean, like
It goes in
so
waves.
many negative storylines that are not me. So I would definitely want to have executive producer credits so that I can make sure that the story is told realistically and there's no spin or, any taken advantage of as it pertains to somebody's character or reputation. I mean, to me, real life is far more fascinating than creating these stories, so it's like, just let it be what it is. Let it be entertaining. And the real people who are that way, let them own that. Don't put that on me. And that's not my story. I have a lot of faults, but those aren't some of the faults that I have. So
Yeah, it's interesting too, because sometimes you have these shows who they can take just a little ounce of maybe a mishap or something. Like, okay, maybe you went out and you had 4 drinks instead of 2 drinks or whatever the case is, and they're watching you so closely and they're like, boom, storyline, alcoholic, like we're gonna roll with it, guys.
right.
Like, and then it gets painted into the storyboard as if you are something that you're actually not. You're right, that does suck if you're not an executive producer.
It does. And then you'll, like, something as simple as this, if that's what the narrative is for you, they're going to make sure every time they show you with a drink, they're going to emphasize it even more. They're not going to show everybody else drinking and the ones who are actually drunk. They're not going to show those people. They're just going to show you picking up and sipping. And it could be the same sip shown different angles, like you just picked it up 1,000 different times. It's pretty crafty what they can do.
It is so funny too, because again, I'm not blaming I love watching Bravo, but you do get those shady moments too, where even I'll use another housewife, for example, like Leah McSweeney from Real Housewives of New York, where she'll pick up a drink and then you see it and it's another one and another one and another one. And it's like, you're so shady with this editing, but
oh my God,
they have a job to do, I guess.
6 different camera perspectives. So every last one of them is a shot.
Yeah. It's even more, I guess, intriguing to me too, because for me, I worked for one of the Real Housewives for, I want to say about 5 years. And I saw the cameras come around and I watched the show being filmed, and it just blew my mind how the call time worked and how people were kind of boozed up sometimes before they would start filming. And it always seemed like the people who were creating the show, not necessarily the cast, but they had an agenda and they knew how to get the people there. And I was just fascinated by how it all works behind the scenes. So anyone who's actually watching, and I'm not just saying from like middle America or anywhere else, but just people who are watching who haven't been around the filming aspect of it, they watch it and they think that that's your truth. So it's interesting.
And I was one of those that watched, I've been watching Housewives since they started. I started with OC, then went to Atlanta. So I've been watching for a long time. And then to actually be able to be a part of it, it was so eye-opening. I was like, wow. So now it's like I want to go back and watch Real Housewives of Atlanta from the very beginning and then just watch it now that I know what I know behind the scenes. Now I just want to start all over and just watch. And maybe I'll put that on my YouTube channel, just me just like picking it apart and saying, oh my goodness, I can probably imagine what happened right here.
You have to make a panel of all of the people who would understand what's going on behind the scenes and have everybody just start chiming. That would be funny. Just grab your popcorn and it's almost like a pillow talk with Monique. I like that.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Speaking of pillow talk, I am working on a little project. And I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I will give you a little exclusive.
Yeah.
It's going to be called Binder Time Stories. And we'll leave it there.
Binder Time Stories.
Yes.
Listen, you're clever with the title. Drag Queens and Binder Time Stories. You are clever with these titles.
No, but I have to give credit where credit is due. I was live on my Tea with Monique channel and someone suggested that. So I have to go back and watch and read through the comments and see who that person was so I can give them their proper credit, because they actually mentioned that in the comment. They said, you need to give us binder time stories. Instead of bedtime stories, binder time stories. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to do something with that.
I like that.
I found a very creative way to tell my stories, and it's going to be a whole hit, and I can't wait to like reveal and show everybody this little project I'm working on.
I can already see like the intro almost being like that of like a burn book from Mean Girls, and just for being a binder opening and diving right into you, just going into whatever stories that you're there to tell. I love this concept, by the way. This is going to be
good. It's gonna
you have a fan in me already.
Yay, thank you. It's gonna just think nursery rhymes, but for adults.
Okay.
We all love a good nursery rhyme, you know?
Okay. Actually, I when we're not on here, I'm gonna send you something on Instagram. I have a fun project that was really cool since you're speaking about nursery rhymes. Maybe you would like it. I don't know, but I'll share it with you when we get off here.
Okay.
But again, I know your time is super precious. I'm not gonna keep all of it. I do have a few more questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, we're good. We got 10 minutes.
All right. We know that you're in Potomac. I'm just curious, now that you're not, I guess, confined to Potomac with filming, is there anywhere else that you could see yourself and your family moving to?
No, I love it here. This is, when we purchased this home, this is our forever home. And I love it. I love my house. I love the neighborhood. We've gotten good and cozy here, and it's been amazing. When we moved from Vienna, Virginia, which is where I started the season, Chris and I had already been looking for a bigger house and a new home for years. And it's very hard to find homes in Potomac that are actually young. A lot of them are older homes that need to be like remodeled. Some of them need to be tore down and rebuilt. So a lot of the houses here are pretty like, they're older. So we had been searching for a long time in this area and a few others. When we saw this pop up on the listing, we were stalking this house for probably a good 2 years before we actually did a walkthrough. So yeah, before we even started filming Housewives of Potomac, we had already been looking at this house just online. And when we did the first walkthrough season 2, they actually filmed. That was our very first walkthrough. That was like real. That was our very first walkthrough, seeing the house in person. And they actually were able to document the whole process. So that was pretty cool.
You're like, sold, I'm done.
Yeah, I love this house.
Well, also, I mean, we all know again that you're an amazing mom and an amazing wife, and you're extremely talented. You're a businesswoman, but we don't know what like a day in the day or a day to day, like a day in the life of Monique would be like, aside from what we see edited. Yes. What would you say a normal day for you would be like?
I wake up, get dressed. Usually the kids will wake up before me and my husband, and they sometimes will wake us up. I actually started setting my alarm so I can try to get up before them, so I can at least get myself together. And, so it's wake up, get the kids up, brush teeth, wash face, downstairs in the kitchen. My husband will make breakfast, or I'll make breakfast, or we'll order breakfast. Thank God for Uber, Uber Eats. So after that, then I get started with work. I do have a nanny who comes to help with Chase. The other two, they're pretty older, so they can kind of handle themselves. I assign them whatever schoolwork they have for the day. While they are working on that, I'm either like on my laptop working on articles for Not for Lazy Moms, or I'm doing Mila Eve orders, or I'm in the basement fulfilling orders. So I pretty much work while my nanny's here from 10:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. When she leaves, then it's like family time, baths, dinner, all of that. Put the kids to bed, and then a lot of times I'm going back to work. Lately, that's pretty much been it. Or my husband and I will like cuddle up on the couch and try to watch a movie or watch something on Netflix, or, just to like wind down along with a glass of wine. So that's pretty much the
You're
flow.
Busy.
Yes. Always like nonstop from the time my feet hit the floor up until the time that I hit my pillow and I'm back in bed. So yeah.
I like that. Listen, you're keeping yourself busy, and it's all positive. So with that being said, I always like to end my interviews on a positive note. And we know that 2020 was an insane year. I don't want to talk politics or anything like that, but 2021 onward and upward. It's going to be amazing. This is going to be a beautiful year. Can you at least tell me if there's anything off the top of your head that you're looking forward to most this 2021?
I'm looking forward to having the first year in 4 years, almost 5 years, where I can just feel normal again. Like I can just look forward to just being a mom, being a wife, being a businesswoman, and not having to worry about the whole politics involving cameras. And, I'm really looking forward to this being just this clean slate where I can just really see all of my projects through. And I'm just, I'm looking forward to just positivity, like you said, putting some action behind my vision and just keep pushing forward. So.
Yeah, and it looks like you're already embracing the fact that, you know, they're not going to be around. And there's so many housewives who end up leaving the franchises or who have been fired, and this affects them. This is like, they're like, what do I do with my life without the cameras? And you made the conscious decision for you and your family to take yourself out of a situation that wouldn't be healthy for your family in the long run. So I commend you. I think that you're amazing. I can't wait to see what you're doing. And I will be watching you on YouTube because I think that you're fabulous. I guess before we go, can you at least tell us where we're going to find you on YouTube?
Yes, my channel is called Tea with Monique. I also have a channel for my Not for Lazy Moms platform, same title. And I also have a YouTube for Me Leave Essentials, where I'll be releasing different how-to videos so that when people purchase the oils, they'll know how to use them properly. So giving you different tips and tricks and recipes and everything else. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, one channel keeps me busy. I don't know how you do it, but you're a super mom. So we will keep our ears open and our eyes peeled. I can't wait to see more of you. And thank you so much, Monique. I really appreciate you taking the time today.
No problem. Thanks for having me. This was great.
Of course. See you next time. All right, guys, that was Monique, and Monique was amazing. I thought that was such a fabulous interview. Wow, she's so busy. She's doing so much. I can't wait to see what she has coming up. This was fantastic. She said, hey, maybe we'll see her on her channel one day. Maybe we'll even get to join her. I don't know, but I can't wait to see what happens. Guys, like I said, keep your ears open, your eyes peeled, and Happy New Year. Go show Monique some love on her channel, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching Up and Adam.